Under the sky to rob, steal, or kill. I'm wondering why it's a dirty game. Is any man worthy of fame? My success to you, even if you wish me the opposite. Sooner or later, we'll all see who the prophet is.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time it may be is that you're listening to this. This is Kamikaze Soundwaves. I want to talk about the new Destiny April update. I haven't spent a lot of time with it because life calls. You know how things happen. You know, you can't sit around and play video games forever. But so far, I want to give you my initial feelings, natural reactions so far. I've probably spent somewhere in the amount of 3 hours of doing so, of playing, and so far, for a free update, you know, I also don't know if I could call it free. I feel like I paid my dues. I bought my free emotes. Not free emotes, what am I talking about? I've paid for my emotes, my thriller dance. I've paid for my what's the one called? The whatever it is, and I've paid for my emotes. I know this is sort of kind of catered to that, which gives Bungie and their families able to pay their bills and give us something along these lines of that magnitude. I've paid for the dances and all that stuff because, look, I'm an advocate player of Destiny, so I support it one way or the other. You know, it is what it is. So, long story short, man, let's jump right into it. So, the initial story thing, arc that they're trying to put out, that the Monarch, I believe it is, he's trying to take over the Taken King, whatever. Cool. I no problems there. You know, cool. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I don't feel like a lot of thought went into it. I feel like it was just, you know, bland as hell. But, you know, hey, you know, in the world of Destiny, even something as minute of that is welcomed. As far as the changes of the weapons, look, at the end of the day, I'm a Titan, and I don't really like to play as a hunter. It's just not my style. Warlock, I play it, but it's not my style. Titan is me at the end of the day. I typically use my hunter and my warlock to just reap the benefits of, you know, doing those extra two things because I have the ability to. If I had my choice, I would play Titan all 3 times and a Night Strike in a raid. I would do it every time. I am a striker Titan, period. That is my favorite class to play as, and that's where it ends. So the story thing, it was cool. I mean, you know, it was something I kind of expect was coming. I'd figure they'd do that. They usually do that. No big deal. Not overwhelming, not underwhelming. It was just kind of straightforward, something that they just kind of threw in there. You know, I didn't pay for it. It was the April update. Cool, I'll take it. I enjoyed it for the most part. New strike. I will speak about the new strike. The strike was, I played it as the story mode part, where it's level 32, so very easy. You know, I think that they were trying to recapture that wolf moment where you were chasing Skolas through the level. I think they were trying to capture that with the Taken aspect, and it, you know, it kind of felt like one of those first missions from Destiny, like when it was initially released, where you're in that same room and essentially you're doing almost the exact same thing. You're killing enemies, you're killing them, and then trying to focus your attacks on the main boss, whatever, and it kind of just, it felt lackluster. I understand that it was a new strike, and I should respect that because I didn't have to pay a penny for it. I get it. But it was okay for the most part. It was very straightforward. Can I appreciate a new strike? Absolutely. A new strike rode into the rotation. Now I can't even say if it's in the rotation. I did do my couple of legendary strikes. It wasn't in the rotation that I played, which those are random. I just did the story thing, so I hope that's in the rotation. I would like to see that on a higher difficulty, which hopefully I will. I would suppose that it's that way. I can't say if it is or if it isn't. But a new strike, cool. I'll take it. I am probably not 100% on the same people who will feel about it, but I genuinely loved Prison of Elders. I thought it was amazing. I loved Prison of Elders. I loved every aspect of it. I loved finding my fire team on Destiny, LFG or whatever it was, and going into those things, with strike, 99% of the people that I honestly have found on LFG are very genuinely, very all about Destiny, cool people. I haven't done that in a while. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've kind of, Destiny's one of those games you fall in out of and you fall out of, and that's just me and my personal experience with it. I do love Destiny, and there'll be times where I'll play it for like 4 months at a time, and I'm just fucking addicted to it. But right now in this period that I am, it was like a cool down period. It just, I'm bored with it. I've started a new YouTube channel, and I'm reviewing a lot of games in my library, so I'm kind of falling away from it. And me and the buddy that I work with, we talk about Destiny all the time, and obviously we haven't had much interaction as far as Destiny topics, but because honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of fell out of it, and I feel like it's me and him kind of have this copacetic agreement that it is type of one of those games where you play it, and it's just like you need that cooldown period with it. And it's one of those games where you pick it up and you're like, why did I ever put this game down? It's amazing. But you fall back into the trend 3 months down the line, you're like, oh my god, this same strike again, son of a bitch. So I'm okay with it. I'm cool with it. I don't really have a lot of complaints. Prison of Elders is back. Awesome. I didn't do the big thing, where you need to find your own team on LFG. I didn't go that route with it yet, because like I said, life calls and you got duties, etc. I haven't found time to get down to that, but I just want to kind of give you guys my first initial reactions of it. I am very, very intrigued at how weapon numbers are dropping. I have gotten blues and 305s and 306, which doesn't really affect me so far. I have completed the raid on multiple occasions. I've done the trials things where you have to beat a certain boss at a certain type of way where you get a certain type of level thing. So my max level before the April update was like a 309, which I was content with. I don't really do trials. I do elimination for the most part because I'm just not, I don't have friends on Destiny. I have a buddy that I work with who we don't play, but we talk about Destiny religiously. That's me and his favorite game ever. But he's an Xbox guy, and I was at one point, but I'm on PS4. We've dived into the fact he's even offered me copies of of the original Destiny, and let me walk on my own to get up to the Taken King DLCs, etc. But I've worked really hard what I have on PS4, and I'm not straying away from that. And I'm sorry, friend, but PS4 is the master system as far as that game goes. It just is at the end of the day. So I so far am pretty okay with everything that's happening. I know there's supposed to be a lot of changes as far as buffs and debuffs, and I don't really follow that shit for the most part because I have a system in place when it comes to multiplayer. I'm a Titan, okay? I am a striker Titan. End of the day, that's my class to play. I use the other ones just because they're there. And it's fun to switch up your gameplay and all that stuff, and switch up your armor and this and that. But at the end of the day, I don't have all the time to study which one is best, which one isn't. I don't do this as a profession, which I would like to at one day. I do playing Destiny for fun. But I am just a Titan striker at heart. That is just the way I play my first-person shooters. I'm aggressive. I'm in your face. I'm out to get you. In the day, here we go. Shotgun. You know what I mean? The shoulder charge, the Titan drop. I'm a scout rifle at heart. All those things that just caters to my playstyle, and it's hard for me to switch it up. Like today, I threw on a strike and I tried to switch it up to an assault rifle or a hard light, and it wasn't working out very well. And I'm sorry, but my playstyle is a hung jury scout rifle. I use my raid shotgun in PvP. When it comes time for PvP, I throw my invective in because not hunting ammo is completely, to me, that just obliterates all opponents, because it's not only one of the most powerful shotguns, but I have ammo at all times to lay you to waste when you turn around that corner. I use my raid machine gun. Not sniper rifles, but the rocket launchers, it's just not my cup of tea. Never been a rocket launcher guy. Always hate people use rocket launchers. I don't know what it is or what it isn't. For the machine guns, I get a huge kill streak when I use my machine gun. So, that's just my play style. I will throw in things here or there to, try to change it up a little bit, this and that, change up my armor sometimes. But so far, as far as my playstyle, I have it down pat. I love my Titan striker. That's the way I like to play. I don't change it up very often. And when I do, it's just for fun. But when I'm serious, I have my own playstyle as far as the weapons that I just talked about. That's just the way I play the game. So I was intrigued to go back to Prison of Elders with the Taken and all that stuff. I thought it was very, very cool. Very, very brought me back to those days of House of Wolves. And I liked it, I don't really have any complaints so far. I got my new 320 sword because, like I said, I have not beat the hard mode raid. So I don't have a lot of 320 weapons. Most of my things cap out at 310. Like I said, my max light level before this was 3.9. Now I'm at a max 311 after playing like maybe 3 or 4 hours. But the possibilities of getting a blue drop in Grand that could possibly be like a 312 or something, just to cap it up another level or two, is inciting me to want me to play more like I was before. Because at this point, I'm kind of a solo player, and what I mean by that is, I go into the raids and I have to go on LFG because I don't have friends who play the game, and so it's usually awkward, and I have to kind of tag along, and there's usually someone jackass who wants to dictate to the whole party what is and what isn't and what everybody to do, but I already know what to do. I've beat the raid a ton of times, and when you go into hard mode raid, it's completely not the same way. Like, everybody has to be on the same wavelength. They have to be on the same page. Everybody, it's fun to joke and this and that, but I mean, and from my experience with hard mode raid, I have played it. I have got a couple of things off of it, but it's like everybody's all fun and games and jokes until you get to the pillars, where everybody has to do that relay race back and forth from the left to the right to the middle. And that's when things aren't fun anymore, because that's when people start fucking up, and it's fuck you, you know what the fuck you're doing, do you even play Destiny, you know, I swear to God, at that point, the friendship has ended with everybody in that fucking room. So right now, from playing a couple, maybe, like I said, I think about 3, maybe 4 hours, I have jumped up from 309 to 311, and that comes from the 320 sword that I got from my boy at the reef, and because that's from completing the Prison of Elders, thing, and I was able to inflict some light onto, I think one of my helmets or something other like that. I believe that's what happened. That bumped that up like maybe 1 or 2 levels. I think it was my gloves. I have a Twilight Garrison, so I'm sorry, I'm not switching that out for any other legendary. I mean, the Twilight Garrison to me is the total package. I can, as a Titan striker, I can jump in, shoulder charge, dash back a couple, dash back to the left. I mean, there's so many times in PvP that I can outskate people's gunfire just by hitting that Twilight Garrison to the left or to the right, and it helps me duck around that corner just to get them and flip out my shotgun and smack them in the face with it. So, Prison of Elders, very, very cool. The new story art, it is what it is. The whole Marnock, something along those lines. I don't know. To chase him around the first level and then go into the strike. The strike to me was very underwhelming, but like I said, it was a level 35 when it's up to like 41 and it's actually in the rotation list. Maybe it will hold my interest then. And to be able to level up in one day, like 4 levels, I mean, I would have to like sit there and play, Oryx Strike hard mode, just to level up like that and replay it over and over and over and over and over and over, hoping to get that drop. When I can do that and like I play strikes and stuff like that, and Crucible, like I love and have that possibility of getting something that even levels up like 1 level from the weapon that I'm using, it makes me want to play again. So I never said I stopped playing, but there, I just feel like Destiny is that game where you gotta have that cooldown period where it's an amazing game in every aspect. It's like the game that I always wanted, and I just feel like I get tiresome of it, and I want to try something else. And right now, I'm back up into that Destiny mode. I realized today that I've taken too much time off from the game because I am sucking so bad, and I'm like, this used to be so easy. And I'm getting murked left and right, and I'm like, oh my god, how come I dying like I did the daily today, which was it's still the Oryx, or take the stone, that would hopefully have Oryx Soul in it, where the ogre pops out at the end, and I was dying like 40 times, something like 4 or 5, 7, 8 times, and I'm like, I would breeze through this like 8 months ago, no problem. This is child's play. But I've fallen off for a while, and I've played a lot of other games, so you know how that is when you go back into a game. You kind of learn all those mechanics, and etc. But PvP, I'm still somewhat of a beast, man. I'm not in any way, shape, or form the best, or even in the top 50, but I can hold my own. And as far as the buffs and debuffs, whatever, my normal playstyle, I'm still holding my own. I'm still doing what I need to do, and I'm cool with it, So my initial thoughts on it, it's good. It's good. I'm happy with everything that I'm seeing. I'm not really fully thrilled about the boxes where you get the certain armor that has the light that you can infuse to it, where like it shines an orange or blue or red. I honestly don't even know what that means. And I know people who are avid Destiny players and be like, this guy, what the no. I honestly swear I don't know what it is. I need to research it a little bit more. All I know is it's 3 defense, and I'm like, nope, I don't want that. I'm going right back to what I have. I infused it with the light that it said it needed, and I'm like, okay, maybe this bumps it up to a certain level, and it didn't do that. So long story short, I'm not the like intricate Destiny player where I know all the fine tuning for every little tiny thing, etc., etc. I play the game because I like it. I love it. I love jumping into a strike and this and that and the third. Not a very social player of the game. Not all aware of the fine tuning of what things can do and can't do. Maybe the light thing is going to be a big part of it. I'm not quite sure yet. I haven't even figured that out. This is just my initial thoughts on it so far. And I just want to give you guys a heads up that it's getting a thumbs up so far. It's still Destiny at the end of the day. It's business as usual with some added things, and which things I can respect, especially for something I didn't have to pay for. So yeah, I would highly suggest, if you have not been back in the world of Destiny, like I wasn't for a while, and you're looking for a reason to jump back in, the April update is definitely a good incentive to jump back in. So yeah, try it out, man. So end of the day, kamikaze soundwaves, man. Thanks for listening, and till the next time, peace.